This past year, I was offered an incredible opportunity. The opportunity to make wonderful friends, experience European culture, and see some beautiful sights. I was accepted into NUN, where I chose to study in Dublin, Ireland. I'm from a sleepy suburb outside of Manhattan, and I was set on attending a college no more than 4 hours from home, so Northeastern's admission decision made me a little nervous. But I decided Northeastern was absolutely worth it, and that I'd come home from Dublin a more experienced and independent person than I was going there. Before I knew it, I was at the airport, teary-eyed and waving goodbye to my friends and family. We first arrived at Blackhall, where I was to live for the next 4 months. I was so excited to have a place just for me and my roommates, despite the responsibility of cooking and cleaning it ourselves. After meandering the city with my roommates and buying groceries, I did what I was always scared of: cooking. The first meal I cooked myself was surprisingly delicious. After unpacking, hanging my Polaroids, cooking and cleaning, Blackhall quickly began to feel like a new home. A couple of days later, we were brought to DBS to familiarize ourselves with the school and with Dublin. After a series of orientations, I began my classes. Most of my work was similar. It was mostly readings and essays. Despite this, my teachers taught me a variety of skill sets. One of the classes I learned most from was Irish Life and Cultures. Not only did this class teach me about Irish history, but it also accustomed me to Ireland. I learned about the different neighborhoods of Dublin, some Irish words and slang, and the current problems that Ireland faces. For this class, we also went on study tours to different parts of the country. I got to see the west of Ireland, where in Galway I saw Irish step dancing and an amazing band that blended salsa and Irish folk music. We were taken to the cliffs of Moher and the Aran Islands, where I felt like I was standing on the edge of the world, and I was even brave enough to lay down and dangle my head over it. In Northern Ireland, we went to Derry and walked on the Peace Bridge. As an architecture student, I was ecstatic to see the Peace Bridge. The cleverness of the design left me in awe. We saw other beautiful things, like the Giant's Causeway and the Kerrick Bridge, but we also got to experience the tension in Belfast. This first-hand experience of that tension made me feel more connected to Ireland. Although the trip was heavy, it was informative and certainly unforgettable. The staff at NUN took us on other trips around Ireland. Our first trip was to Causey Farm, where we herded sheep and jumped in a bog. In Howth, I saw purple, pink, and green cliffs and ate delicious Portuguese food. In Sligo, I attempted to surf and visited the donkey sanctuary. I experienced Ireland because of these trips, not just Dublin. After seeing so much of the country, I know one of the things I will miss most is the Irish landscape. The green, rolling hills took my breath away every time. In the middle of all these planned trips, we had our own free time for traveling. With my friends, Alex and Rachel, I went to Barcelona, Paris, Rome, and Florence. After seeing many cathedrals and mastering each city's metro, I can say that my independent travel was one of the most exhilarating and enriching learning experiences I've ever had. My time in Ireland, however, was not just fun and sightseeing. One of the requirements of my global experience class was service learning, a volunteering opportunity that we would reflect on in class. Service learning gave us the chance to better experience Dublin and give back to the community. I spent every Monday volunteering at Sundial House, a long-term homeless shelter for alcoholics. It was intimidating and difficult at first because many service users were allowed to drink inside the hostel. But as soon as I got to know them, I grew very fond of them. My job was to create a positive atmosphere for the people staying at Sundial. I talked, played checkers and bingo, and made arts and crafts with them. Because of Sundial House, I am no longer shy. I am grateful to have heard so many amazing stories and to have learned how to tell mine. When I came to Ireland, I was a quiet, timid girl who was scared to live an ocean away from home. But I learned to speak up, be independent, and be confident because, well, I had to. And I'm so glad I did. I've made friends from around the planet, I've learned to live by myself, and I've learned about myself. After being unsure about what I wanted to study for years, I can say with confidence that I want to study architecture. I am so happy to have spent 4 months in such a beautiful, welcoming country that I am ready to get back to my cat. And for Northeastern, I am thrilled, happy, eager, and excited for just about anything but scared.